Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 9. This is the Peaches of Wrath. So the episode, it actually starts off with Portia. Portia, she's going to be, and she's got to have it, the stage play. And she's really excited about that. We saw her initially acting it out with Lauren and her assistant and a couple other people. So good for Portia. Great for her. Now, aside from that, we then see Kim. Yeah, I'm going through this fast. We see Kim. She goes and meets up with Sheree. Remember, it's been a while since it's just been them. So it's nice for them to just have them meet up. The last major time when it was just the three of them, including Nene, was with the whole adjusting of the wig. Anyway. Now, the main thing is that Nene never showed up. Nene didn't show up because she was like, she has multiple elephants with Sheree and a whole nother issue with Kim that they just need to, they've never really talked about. And part of her issue with Sheree is the fact that Sheree brought Kim and Kim, I guess, wasn't invited. It's not that she wasn't allowed to come, it's just that she wasn't invited, so she shouldn't have came. But before they even get to that, they kind of talk about how, oh, well, Portia's cool, so the whole Candy and Portia thing, how's that going? Is that squashed? And it's like, well, no. And she was like, yeah, I understand the allegations are pretty harsh with the whole sex dungeon thing and drugging and stuff, but Candy, it's not like she's unfamiliar with going and offering her services to other women. And I said, what? Candy apparently said to Kim one time that she wanted to lick the box. I said, oh, even if that's true, I don't care. That's the most important part. Even if it's true, I don't care. Now, aside from that, we kind of go over the fact again that Kim and Kenya, they're not on good terms. Kim is still hurt about what Kenya said about her kids. And I'm thinking, Kenya didn't say anything about your kids. Kenya talked about your, what you said in relation to your daughter. Not even making something up or just saying something negative about your daughter. It was actually something negative about you. You're not dumb, so you tried to flip it. You tried to flip it in reverse as if we're stupid, but we're not. We're not. And maybe when she sees the show again, she'll accept her. Maybe she'll say, well, yeah, but you guys don't understand. She did say something else anyway. Sheree also talks about Tyrone. So this was actually a long conversation. So she talks about how, yeah, she's dating someone. And, you know, a couple of ladies feel a certain way about it, including Nene. And Nene talking about how he's a con artist and all of that. And they're just, Kim likes Tyrone, apparently. She's like, Tyrone's cool. He helped her out back in the day. She didn't lose money with him, so she has no qualms with Tyrone. But I'm thinking, this is just a placeholder for what's going to happen next. So Cynthia, she does a back-to-school drive. That's what I'll call it, a back-to-school drive. And she has a loose leaf paper, she has a notebook, she has the binder, she has the pens, the pencils, probably some calculators too. And all the ladies are there to support her with this. So it's nice, this is important, you know. And she made a great point about kids. They're told they have to go to school. They don't have a choice as far as if they can choose to go to school or not. But a lot of them also don't have the necessities that school requires. So we see her sisters there. We see Kenya comes, even though Kenya was out of town. And the main thing that they're going to talk about aside from the drive is the fact that Will is coming. So Will comes, he brings some supplies, and everyone goes to meet Will, and they're just like, okay, cool. The only problem is Cynthia, she's like, so here's what I'm thinking. Cynthia, you better get your grown self together. Get your grown self together. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. Just swooning over this man, even though this relationship isn't fully confirmed as monogamous. Isn't that? Because he's also saying that he has a trip to Brazil. And the ladies are looking at Cynthia like, Cynthia, we love you. We really do. But Come on now. Get it together a little bit. Get it together a little bit because he's going away to Brazil. He's going to have himself a very nice time. You know there's prostitutes there in Brazil. He had that look of, wait, what? So you have to bring Cynthia over to the side and say, look, I'm going there for a couple of days. You know, when we come back, we can talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And she's just like, okay. I'm like, I'm just thinking, oh my God, Cynthia, this is cute. It's nice to see Cynthia date and just have fun on this show. Date. She wants that man. We can all see it. It doesn't have to be for everything. It just needs to be a more committed thing. That's all. So Cairo, we're back at Chateau Sheree. Sheree's in the kitchen. Cairo comes in. He brings in a whole bunch of supplies. And Sheree was just swooning like, oh, he's gonna cook for me. I said, this isn't a story. This is not a story. So he cleans off the grill. He goes in to get some stuff. This is where the story kicks in. You have a collect call from inmate. I said, there we go. With the mess. With the mess. So Sheree, even though the kids know that she's talking to someone, they don't know the full details. Why does Sheree still have the S6? She must be like buying her phones outright or something, because there's no reason for her to still have the S6. Anyway, I think that's S6 Plus or Edge. I'm talking about Galaxy S6. Anyway, so she's talking to Tyrone, and he's giving her good news. The good news about, well, she talks about how some people, especially Nene, bringing up the fact that, oh, he's in there and that Sheree is dating him to begin with. And Tyrone said, wait a minute. We don't need to worry about what other people, especially people like Nene in the past that she has, go in and talk about anyone else. And so that's when Sheree in her confessional talked about how, oh, you know, Nene should be the last person. She definitely has them. What do you call those things? Some mugshots, a mugshot or two, her and Greg. So who is she talking about? But I'm glad that Sheree is in love. I'm glad that she found someone who she feels like loves her back equally, and he's possibly getting out of jail soon, or potentially. We don't know. But he puts it out there like, you look, Ma, I'll be out soon. I'm working on a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Could be out sooner rather than later. So she says, okay, cool. She tries going inside and talking to Cairo about it for a moment. It's like, so how you feel your mom dating? He was like, I don't know how to feel. I know we're supposed to talk about it in the scene, but no, I can't do it. I know that's not for me. That's this no. So we go to this. I won't say the witch doctor. She's not a witch doctor. Nene invites this medium. What's her name? Mbele. I believe it's Mbele. Now, because Nene wanted someone to come in and help the group out. And so then Nene's kind of going over the fact there's a lot of elephants, there's a lot of people with different energy. And I'm thinking, if this woman's supposed to be a censor, supposed to be a medium, why are you giving her all this background? She doesn't need all of that background. She has a show, she has social media, she has all this stuff to get her information from and then make some general assumptions afterwards. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that she's official, that she's officially a medium. But Cynthia comes in. Now there's the rule of you have to give your phone. Your phone must be, oh, nope, we're not doing that. Oh, and then, nope, we're not doing that. And I said, cool. Now they're eating, they're having a cocktail, getting ready to go. Candy's the third person come in. Now, mind you, I find it very interesting that this censor, because originally she was more so calling herself a censor. When Nene came in, handshake. When Cynthia came in, handshake. When Candy came in, hug. I said, oh, okay, interesting. But then as more of the ladies start to come in, that's where the mess came in. Actually, I'll give the rest of them the benefit of the doubt because it wasn't that bad yet. But before the rest of the ladies came in, because they had different call times, this is why people don't come in all at the same time, just so that you're aware of how this show actually works. Candy is talking about Cynthia and her relationship and how, yeah, Candy needs to make sure she needs to do a background check to make sure that this guy wasn't just trying to be an opportunist. And so clearly Nini's fine, because I feel like this is something Nini will have done too. So Nini couldn't say much of anything. Now we get back to Chateau Charest, and Portia comes over, and apparently Charest said, I need to be fully aware, fully cognizant of what's going on today. So I couldn't take them nice pills, but they gave me something for the back. They gave me something for the general pain. They gave me something for the inflammation. If you know that combination gets you. Portia almost said, wait, can I get some? I said, Portia, you better stop it. You better stop it. Anyway, it starts to rain at this point, and here comes Kim. All these K's, dang. Kim's there, and I find it interesting that the three of them are going to come together. Kim, part of her issue, part of Kim's issue, I'll say, is she doesn't like Kenya. She's on the outs with Nini. So, of course, she's going to align herself with someone like Portia, who's been on the outs with both of them. And then they kind of go over the trip, because Kim wasn't there. And how her and Nini had issues and all of that. But what matters is we're back at the medium place, and Kenya comes in. Now, here's something funny. When Kenya came in, I said, okay, this medium's kind of spicy. Kenya was putting away her umbrella, and the medium said, okay, so while we're doing this, and while, you know, you turned and walked away while we're talking to you, and I said, okay, we're not doing this. Like, that wasn't intentional. Stop it. Stop it. That's where I knew things were going to go south. And Ken's like, well, I'm just putting the umbrella down. I'm fully here. Here's the phone. Great. Now we get to... Kim comes in with Portia and Charest. Portia and Charest, relatively cool. Kim, she doesn't want to give up the phone. The medium, she said, oh, no, I don't shake hands. So then Kim thought, oh, okay, kind of spicy. But she's like, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't want to be touched. I just meant that I didn't want to shake hands. So I said, okay. Energy's already weird, but if this person's a real censor, then she's going to sense that there's BS coming from that side, so she's giving out what she's getting. That's what people understand. When people are real censors, when sometimes you're like, what's wrong with them? Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes your attitude is stank, regardless if you're trying to fake the funk or not. And they got it, and so they can't get that off of them. So they can't get that off of them until you have a discussion. So everyone finally sits down after Kim and Portia don't want to give up their phones, or I don't know if they ended up giving them up or not, but Nini said, I brought you ladies here because it's time for us to, there's a lot of elephants. That's the theme, the central theme. There's a lot of elephants in the room, and it's time for us to cleanse ourselves of the elephants. So we're going to have the medium go and start with everyone and take it from there. So she talks about how Candy, she's, I almost said a daydreamer, but no, she's one of those people where, you know, where you're constantly experiencing deja vu. That happens to me. And what people are like, I don't get it. Meaning that you're already kind of, you're touched. And so you see your future, not just the future. You see your future and things already happening for you, or opportunities, things happen one way versus the other, but you don't really experience it until you're already in it. Like, wow, I almost prophesized or walked myself into this situation. And sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's great. And so Kim's like, dang, if I could do that, I could collect multiple bags. When she talked to Cynthia, because she already heard Cynthia's conversation, she essentially told Cynthia, sorry, he's an opportunist. I said, some people were already thinking that. It doesn't mean he is. So let's move on. I don't know. You never know. You never know. So I'm not going to go and say that he is. I'm just going to go and say, if it turns out that he is, at least multiple people said so. For who's next? Yeah, the respect part, already went to, oh, Sheree. So basically, for Sheree, it was kind of stand in what you believe in, stay firm and true in what you want to do, regardless of what anyone else is telling you. And I said, wow, that's dead on. That's definitely dead on and in line with Sheree and everything that she wanted to do, from Chateau Sheree to now being in this relationship. Now, while that's going on, we do see that Kim is playing around with Portia's hair. And so the meme's looking at her like, really? 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 Now, with Nene, it borderly felt like butt kissing. That's why everyone started to laugh, like, really? It's like, oh, well, you misunderstood. Come up high strong. But, you know, your heart's in the right place. And I said, okay, yeah, we got. All right, next for, who's next? Because she didn't do Portia. She pretty much told Kim that your attitude and demeanor, it's staying. Oh, no. Before that, we went to Kenya. And Kenya was, you're not going to be here for much longer. I said, what? Excuse me? I said, what? But no, it's that she has other paths. I'm thinking, does that mean that Kenya's not going to be in the next season? Does that mean that Kenya's going to go and join and do something else and become a part-time person on this show? Like, what does that mean? Now, Kim pipes up and says, you know what, the reason why she's put in a little bit of flames, adding more wood to the flame, is because she's had Long Island mediums, she's done different types of mediums, and so she doesn't believe this one. So Kenya said, well, a lot of us was thinking, it's like, we're doing this group activity, we're trying to be open, we're trying to be receptive to this. Like, are you 10 years old? Is this a situation where you're gonna go and be respectful and actually just listen? You can have your little looks, your little whatever, but just listen. Let this process happen. Or are you going to go? Because it's one way or the other. It's one way or the other. So the meme actually told them to, you know, this energy, this move, this way of doing things isn't working. Kenya and Portia decided to lock hands and stay true and sit with each other. The medium essentially said, look, you gave me sauce before, you gave me energy before, so we're not on good terms. I would like to start over, and I would like to take, I would like to give you a bath. And I said, oh, she was Indian? Because I thought she was going to give her that bath with the salt and the blue one. And the, of course you have to burn, it's not sage, I forgot what it's called. But anyway, no. She was going to go outside, get a bush, anointed in some oil, and beat Kim. I said, I want to see that. I want to see that. As a joke, people. As a joke. But that didn't happen. Kim said no. And I was fine with that because I was thinking, you're not about to go and do that to me. Excuse me? No. So then she gets up and says, the meme gets up and says, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this with you guys. Katie says, oh, all right. Now's my time to shine. This is what I've been waiting for. So ladies, there's still elephants in the room. Why don't we just go and start addressing stuff? Nene and Portia, what's the message? What's going on with you two? So then Portia talks about her side because no one else was really there for when they had that little get together at Marlo's house. And Portia essentially said she felt like Nene wasn't receptive. I said, we already knew that. Nene acknowledged that she didn't want to hear that unless it was coupled with X, Y, and Z. So we're not going to get far with there. We're going to switch over to Sheree. Sheree having the problem with Nene and the fact that it's like, oh, so you have a problem with my relationship, you have a problem with Tyrone, even though, let's be very clear, you're the same person who has mugshots as well. So I don't understand why you're giving me all this energy when I feel like you should be the most understanding. Nene said, let's be very clear. A mugshot and getting bailed out versus doing hard time is a huge difference. No, a huge difference is someone accusing you of something and you not even getting to the point of being arrested because you didn't do it. That's a huge difference. This is a regular difference. So, there's that. There is that. But NeNe and Sheree, we already know the damage is partially done. All these friendships are just held together with some really strong good times and a bunch of bad times. That's what most of these friendships are. And I was just shocked that that Kenya was the one that was just like, are we really doing this? Are we really going to do this? Now, I'm so over it. I'm so done with it. Kim kind of saying, okay, all of this is done. All of this is over. No one cares. And I'm glad that Kenya stepped in and said, now look, Kim, there's definitely other elephants. There's other elephants. You're again impeding on people's process of growing and healing. When we were at NeNe's house, we had verbal altercation, but aside from that, also when we were at Sheree's house last year, there was even other issues, and I don't understand it because, well, we don't really know each other. You feel like I said something about your kids. No, I said something about what you said in relation to your daughter. There's a huge difference, but fine. If you don't want to see it that way, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Here comes Cynthia saying, now wait a minute, Kim. You know, how the whole situation played out. Just let Kenya just say her piece. And then Kim tells Cynthia, of all people, Cynthia, can you please just be quiet right now or shut up right now? I said, Kim, contrary to popular belief, anyone in that room can mollywop. So let's not do that. Let's not do that, because I'm tired of this whole, you can be disrespectful, but because you say it in a nice way, I have to go and, no. There's a lot of things that can be pulled. See, Cynthia is so nice because, let's be real. If I was in that group, I'd probably be just like Cynthia. And I'd probably even handle it just like Cynthia. On the inside, I'd be thinking, you lopsided Molly Whoop looking ass. But verbally, I would say, okay. I'm not trying to put gas on nothing. Not throwing no sauce on nothing. Because even after it was done, Cynthia was like, you know what, Kim, I wasn't trying to do all that. And so gave the usual hug just to show I really don't have any issues with you. I was just trying to say something in relation to my friend. And I'm thinking, people better not go at Cynthia for trying to actually defend Kenya or aid Kenya, because I'm on Cynthia's side on what she did. And she stood firm on what she did. She didn't go she didn't go swinging, but she did defend herself in her way. So I'm happy about that. NeNe wanted to talk to Kim because Kim and NeNe, they've had a lot of issues over the years. And it just boils down to their issues that they always have. Why do they have them? Why can they never just have peace with each other? And it's like a multi-tier cake. You keep cutting out one thing, but then there's that next piece, and there's that next piece, and forget if you have filling, and forget if you have multiple different flavors and textures within this piece and that layer. That's how their relationship is. I think it started as friends and buddy and chummy, and then it got petty, and maybe, because remember, the other thing I didn't mention is that Kim does finally bring up, I think it was originally to Sheree, about the whole, oh, Brielle saw multiple roaches, like 24 roaches in NeNe's house or in this one bathroom. And we all said it was a water bug. It wasn't a roach. But second, I'm thinking, so now you go and tell it to Sheree. So this is when you tell it to Sheree, and you think that's not going to cause problems? Really? So that's it. Nothing was solved. Come back next week.